Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you how I got the National Master title, and this was at a local tournament. The time control is 45 minutes with a 5-second delay. It's a little bit of a shorter time control, and let's get on with the game. So the first round I'm playing a 2053 rated player. She plays a French defense, more specifically the C4 variation. In the C4 variation, black tries to attack on the queen side because the pawn chain is facing the queen side direction, but my pawn chain is facing the king side, so I'll be trying to attack the king side. We develop our pieces, I castle, and I try and maneuver my pieces. I go queen e1 because I want to try, okay, let's do something random, like here, 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 I'm like boom, we get our bishop on b1. I get control over the f5 square, and I thought, okay, let's go f4, knight g4, knight e3, or just go f4, f5, and just get my pieces in the right area. But she goes bishop a4 and stops me from doing that. But I just thought I was going to go f4, she goes queen d7, and I bring my knight around, and here she goes f6. Which is fine, but I think something better was f5, because that forces me to take and make a like with f5. If I just go like here, then maybe she could, or no, maybe she could try attacking me on the king side also. So I think f5 was slightly better, although f6 is totally fine. I take and I go bishop h5, and the reason is I want to halt any sort of like h pawn play she may get, any sort of queenside play, kingside play. And I thought my bishop was slightly better than hers, so because it has more movement, although the bishop can actually trade itself, but I just thought my bishop was better, so that's why I did this. And now I go f5. The point is, if takes, I just take, and I just thought, okay, there's some weaknesses she has to deal with, and if she goes e5, I actually thought of just winning here because I have a passed pawn, and I'm actually threatening something. So if e4, I was like, okay, knight e5, and I just win an exchange. Like, something like this. The position, it's a bit tricky, but I think I can deal with that. I think I can find a way to win this, I thought. Like, maybe do something like here, and just push my pawn to f7, and do something, and bring my queen. But she goes check, and goes here, and now the point is, if I go to f7, rook h, g8, and here I saw g4, and I just thought this position looks super nice. Like, I can somehow like go here and go bishop h6, but actually the queen can just run away, and more like scary, bishop c6, and now there's some d4 e3 stuff, and I have to be really careful. You know, it requires a lot of calculation, so that's why I advise in lower time controls, just play a safer move if you can see one. So I just go knight g4. I block the queen's axis, and I want to see where it's gonna go. And here she makes a mistake. She goes knight d7, trying to stop this f pawn, but I can just push. And now after queen g5, if queen f8, I actually thought maybe I actually saw this and this. The point is bishop f4, queen's pinned, and I win. And now after queen f8, queen g5, I actually go bishop f7. I'm attacking this pawn, and if she tries to do something like h5, for example, I can actually take, and the queen's trapped. The queen's trapped. That really beautiful queen trap. But she goes e3. Like, I think it's the only move. But she gives me this pawn. It removes a lot of threats around me. My king is weak. This e pawn's gone, and now I have this f6 pawn. And yeah, she's just in like a world of hurt. And her queen ventures off, and after bishop d5, she resigns because I have this f pawn, and my pieces are just more active. Like, stuff like this could happen. And yeah, so this is like a solid first game, not the best, but solid. And in the second round, I am playing a 2152. He plays the Rossolimo variation, and I do all of this, and he sacks a pawn and does this for more development. When you do gambits like this, it's usually for more development or like a kingside attack. Bishop d6, all this happens, and basically this bishop, it's on my pawn. I can't push, and this kind of like cramps my position a bit as my knight can't move. This knight, like, it can move, but this knight's protecting that knight, and my rook. If my rook moves, then my pawn could be a bit weak. Like if I just do this, like maybe this, and like knight g5. So I decided to push him back, and I just go bishop b7, and here he goes knight b3. I finally get my rook out, and he goes a4, trying to break up the structure. If b takes a4, knight c5. I saw this. I briefly considered this, and I just thought this was bad. I can't go here because rook b1, and I just thought my position was super cramped, and he just got what he wanted here. As you can see, the engine agrees with me. And keep in note, knight c5, it's actually not that dangerous, surprisingly, because maybe queen b6, maybe this. Although the engine doesn't agree with this. Like, I saw this, I thought this was fine. Like something like this. And yeah, I thought this is fine. This is fine. But I can actually go rook a7. And don't try and make moves like queen c8, because the rook is on the same file, and you don't want your queen to be the one defending things. Like, rook a7 is totally fine. In fact, it makes move for my bishop, in case if it wants to go to the corner. I'm a little bit cramped, but now I'm getting this move knight c8, and it's attacking the bishop, and if the bishop, let's just say something like this, ignore the queen, like I can try and go get d5 now. But after knight c8, in this position, he takes and just lets me out, and the point is that he wants me to take and go up 2 pawns. But after queen d5, I didn't see like a good way forward. I thought, okay, queen f6, g3, trying to prepare f4, and my position's a little bit stuck. Although I'm up 2 pawns, this d pawn, you may think it's dangerous to pass pawn, but it's actually nicely blockaded by the white bishop. I have doubled pawns. This pawn's weak. This pawn slightly weak. My squares are a little bit weak on the queen side, and yeah, I thought he had enough compensation, and I didn't see myself winning this, so I thought we're gonna go up 1 pawn instead, but not have opposite colored bishops, and try and go for his king. And immediately I blunder. You can pause the video, try and find a way. What's a good way to equalize the position for white? And the answer is rook takes c6. In the game, he took with the knight, and he can't actually take this pawn because of rook d5, and I'm winning the piece. And now, after rook c6, if takes, this happens, b3. Like, he parks his bishop on c4, although my knight maybe can be dangerous in the future. If you want to eliminate all sources of play, just do something like this. Where although, it's maybe a little bit like passive, it gets the job done. Like, just get your luft, like get like luft for your king, and then move your pieces. And so he goes queen f3. I centralize my queen like this, trying to get c5 and bring my rook in via d8 or e8. And now I go rook a d8, and he go if bishop a6. Try and be more careful of stuff with 92, and you'll actually see after bishop c4, I actually can't take, because after this, all this, congratulations, you calculated 1 move ahead of your opponent, because I actually can't take because of checkmate. And I do this, which I thought was a blunder. I thought he blundered here, but I missed that he can actually move back. And I'm not, I missed that he can take, okay, so this happens in the game, but I missed that he can actually take the queen and go here, and I thought I was just gonna win this. Like, I was thinking about the game afterwards, and then I saw this, and I just thought, okay, well, I'm gonna win because he has this weakness, he has this weakness, my rooks are coordinated, and yeah, but he doesn't take my queen, and now I'm up in exchange. And how I win is I give space for my king, and I win a pawn, and queen f5, and my opponent resigns because this is just winning, bishop's under attack, pawn's going down, and if he tries to defend his pawn, his bishop's hanging. And now, I give you the final game, the game that won me everything. I won me the Enum title, but in my head, I felt like I won everything. So, and I've actually played this guy twice before, and I'm 0-2 against him. 0 wins, 2 losses. And so that kind of like, my confidence was a little bit low, but I thought, okay, we'll deal with it. Plus, his rating is 22-16. He's the #1 seed. So I thought, okay, we're gonna trade off the queens. We're gonna develop our pieces, do everything fine, and we're just gonna try and get like a slow, grindy game, like Magnus Carlsen. And we're gonna see, maybe he overpresses and I can win like that. And yeah, because I think a draw also secures the Enum title for me. And yeah, this is a key moment in the game where he brings his knight to e4 and I push d5, which is a slight mistake because it allows him to go here. I thought I was trapping his knight, but actually losing a bishop. I have to sack the exchange, and don't be careful sometimes when you're trading pieces. You know, I'm actually have 2 knights versus a rook, and I'm actually winning here. So you have to take first, and then you're totally fine. But after, if knight c5, I may have to go here. He has 2 bishops. My pawn's weak. He's threatening a take. Maybe something like this. The pawn's defended, but it's may not be good because my position can get very bad very quick. I think you get the point. But he goes a5, which weakens some of these light squares, and I go knight d4, and I immediately take advantage of them. And I calculate this really long line starting from knight d4. Actually, I force his bishop back, and not in over here. And you'll see why this is important because now I go here, and he thinks he tricks me because after knight c3, if takes, he can actually take and go knight t5, and he's probably gonna win, being at 2200. So I take first. I might be thinking, oh yeah, knight takes a2, but actually, this is just fine. I'm up in exchange. In fact, it's apparently equal somehow. But this, like, I have winning chances here. So all this happens, and funny enough, the computer doesn't see it until you actually play all the moves. So it might be harder for you to guess my tactical shot. All this happens, and here he makes an error. Rook takes f2, and I want you to find out how do I win. I have a tactic here. Pause the video, and if you guess bishop c6, congratulations. You were national master, officially. And because he takes, and actually, funnily enough, it's actually not so easy. In fact, I actually realized this after the game. If he does something like this, I thought I could go a4 and just protect this way. But actually, after something like this, you know, bishop g5 is coming, and I'm actually worse. Yeah, I'm actually worse because there's like rook c2. And even here, when he's advancing, rook d2. Rook d2 only move to win, by the way. Because I have to be careful, because I actually thought after all of this, like, I'm not winning here. I actually thought I'm not winning because my queen, like, although I have this pawn, my king is in big trouble here, and he can actually push and do something like this. And if he tries to protect here, I actually have this like bishop, so he can't stop the pin and help stop this pawn at the same time. So I'm actually lost here, funnily enough. So rook d2 only move to win, and now I'm just winning. And here actually I could have just went a4. I just thought, okay, this is just really dangerous, like really dangerous. But actually I can just go back and f2, queen e6. Oh wait, actually there's some way to win. Okay, king e1. Yeah, okay. I was gonna find this during the game. Don't worry. But I just go queen c8, stopping this. But I give up this pawn, and now what happens is, it's a queen versus a bishop and 4 pawns, and you have to be really precise if you want to win. You have to show some technique. I control the light squares, and I go after his weak f7 pawn. I activate my king, and here I thought, okay, queen b8. He could maybe do something like this, and I was kind of worried that I was not gonna win this game. Although, because, you know, he has f2, and this is only move, and you have to do some stuff like this, and yeah, you can push and you can win. But I saw something else. I was gonna go back. King g5, just check, and actually he can't push the pawn, so I'm totally fine here. So after queen f3, he just goes back, and I do this, with the threat of going here, and maybe I could go here and attack the pawn. I do this weird triangulation thing, because now I know I'm winning here, because he either has to let me through, or he has to push his pawn, which is what he did in the game, and now his escape score is cut off. And sooner or later, I end up checkmating him, and this is a very special moment for me. I actually, this was a 4-round tournament. I only played 30 games, so I withdrew the final round. And so yeah, 3 out of 4, not bad. I get the NM title 20-12, and I might be thinking, what's next? Well, I'm going to try and get FIDE Candidate Master, which is required of a 2200 FIDE rating. I'm currently at 1911. My next tournament is the Western Class Championships next week. And yeah, anyways, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.